I've got this really weird thing with my right foot. It hurts a lot. It doesn't hurt all day long, and then when I get in bed, it does.
It was also in my hands. My hands were affected as well. They were numb and achy and stiff.
Would just send pain, shooting pain into my feet.
I started to get the numbness and tingling in my fingers, and I thought, uh-oh, now what?
He said, no, that's not arthritis, I think it's neuropathy, so he sent me for testing to a neurologist.
And I thought, well, but I'm not a diabetic.
It's not a good feeling, and you wonder, how far can this go, or how far will it go?
I need to do something that is going to give me a better quality of life.
My daughter Colleen is a registered nurse, and when we went down to visit with Dr. Kilm, she came with. And when we left, she said, Dad, you're going to do this. And I'm glad that I did.
You know, it was non-invasive, non-operable, no drugs involved.
And yes, it's worth it, because it's helped me.
You know, as results started, it just became almost miraculous.
It definitely is worth it.
It's wonderful. It's changed my life, given my life back.
Three, 4 years ago, I started feeling this numbness in my feet, and I thought, oh, this isn't fun. And it just, you know, so I let it go for a long time, because I thought, oh, it's just something that'll go away. Well, it didn't go away. It just kept, you know, so I finally went to our medical doctor, and he says, well, I think you have neuropathy. And I thought, well, but I'm not a diabetic. And he said, well, you have what they call peripheral neuropathy. And he gave me a couple tests, and he said, you do, and there's no medication, there's no cure that's really going to help the situation. And so I tried the pills that they gave me, but they didn't do anything except make me gain weight, and I didn't want to do that. So then he said, well, I think I'll send you to a neurologist, and which we did that, and she too said, there's no cure, but we can give you this medication and it should help. Well, that didn't help either. It made me very, very sick. And so I just kind of thought, well, okay, there's nothing I can do about this, so we'll just live with it.
But I said, it's probably arthritis. And he said, well, when does it hurt? And I said, well, that's what's so odd about it. It's when I get in bed at night. It doesn't hurt all day long, and then when I get in bed, it does. And he said, no, that's not arthritis, I think it's neuropathy. So he sent me for testing to a neurologist.
I noticed things going on with my feet that must have been, more than a year ago. And you don't pay much attention to it at first.
After about 6 months, it had gotten to the point where I had no feeling in my feet. They were totally numb.
I can't walk barefoot at all in the house. It just would hurt my feet so bad. So I'm always wearing slippers or shoes of some sort, always, because to step even on the carpet would just send pain, shooting pain into my feet.
Toward the end of March, it looked like sores on my feet. It wasn't really sores, but it was really red spots in my toes and under the ball of my foot. And I went to the podiatrist for something else, and I asked him, and he said, oh, it's frostbite. Well, when I went to the internist, he said, no, I don't think it is. I think it's the autonomic dysfunction from the neuropathy.
I was at the point, by the end of the 3-year period, I couldn't even walk behind my lawnmower anymore without having to sit down and rest. My legs were always sore. I didn't know what was going on. And so it was obvious it was just getting worse and worse. And then the other thing that happened was I started to get the numbness and tingling in my fingers, and I thought, uh-oh, now what?
But when it got to the point where my feet and legs were numb, and what's going to happen next, and it's not a good feeling, and you wonder, how far can this go, or how far will it go? You just feel down.
You know, as you get older, your physical body's going to change and things are going to happen, but there wasn't any reason for this. And that was really, you know, part of the frustration was, okay, so I've got this, but if I can't do anything, then what am I going to do with my time with all the things that I like to do, because I'm an outdoors person and because I am so active. So I got extremely frustrated. You know, when it takes you 3 hours to mow the lawn and it takes you all day to do it, you know, there's something wrong. And it was that type of frustration that I was feeling because I wasn't able to do what I was normally used to doing.
My daughter went on the internet and found some information, and then we decided to come down and meet with Dr. Kelm, and we were quite impressed.
You know, it just sounded like it was going to work, and I thought, why not? I've got nothing to lose. And so, you know, the other thing that they stated, which was a big deal for me because I hate pain, was that it was pain relief, and I was having so much pain, and I don't like to be treated with pain. You know, it was non-invasive, non-operable, no drugs involved, and if I did what they said, I felt I was going to become better again. And I didn't know to what level until I got into the program, but, you know, as results started, it just became almost miraculous.
It's real simple. The technician just takes that little red light and just runs it up and down your legs and feet and between your toes, up and down.
It just started to work, you know, and it was an easy process to go through. I mean, when you can sit there in 45 minutes and all you do is yak at the the specialist who's giving you the treatment, that's the easiest doctor I've ever been to.
He told us what he would do, and if it did not work for me, he said we were able to quit any time.
But once we got started, and I was in twice a week, same pretty much time schedule, and so I knew what to expect, and I knew they were going to start me out on really low doses of the laser treatment and the way they do this, and they talked to me about doing the foot and the leg exercises and all of the other things that I had to do with my hands and my lower extremities to start helping this process work. But I never had any trepidation. I mean, they were there, they'd talk you through it. It was simple, there was no pain, and they were concerned about my feeling too much heat or if I had any problems whatsoever to give Dr. Kelm a call personally or any of the staff.
I've recommended it to several people that have neuropathy, and including a sister who doesn't have neuropathy, but she has other things. And he said if it's nerve root damage, they do treat that. It doesn't always have to be neuropathy. So it's wonderful. It's changed my life, given my life back.
It's not like you wake up one morning and all of a sudden it's gone. It's a gradual diminution of that. And I think that's what's kind of funny about this treatment, is that you don't really realize that you're getting the relief that you are. But all of a sudden, as you're able to start doing things and doing more things and getting back to some of the old activities and testing yourself, you find out, hey, you know, I couldn't do this 10 weeks ago, and now I'm doing what I couldn't do before. And it's just, you know, that's the incredible feeling that starts to happen. And then you just want more and more and more. Okay, I can hardly wait for the next 2 treatments so that, you know, you can just keep the progression going.
And for people who probably have the same condition or worse than myself, I would have to tell them it definitely is worth it.
At the time you think, well, how can we afford it? We took money out of savings and took care of it. And yes, it's worth it because it helped me.
Halfway through, I really started to notice that my pain and tingling and the hotness was going away. And then I also noticed, but it was more subtle because I really wasn't pushing myself because I hadn't been able to, that I was able to start doing some things that I hadn't been able to do before. So I could go out and start to mow, and I could be on my feet longer. I couldn't be on my feet for more than an hour at a time without just really bad pain. There was no question in my mind for the money involved. There was no way that I wasn't going to do this even if I had to pay for it for myself, because I looked at it as a last hope and as a last solution to trying to find something that would work.
Yes, my daughter Colleen is a registered nurse, and when we went down to visit with Dr. Kilm, she came with. And like when we went to see a new doctor on chemo, she came with. And so we went down and visited with Dr. Kilm, and she was impressed. And when we left, she said, "Dad, you're going to do this." And I'm glad that I did.
One of the reasons I'm here today is to try and help other people understand this treatment does work. And yes, it's new, but this group of people knows what they're doing, they know how to make it work, and if you're straight with them and tell them what's going on, they're going to be able to help you. I firmly believe that.
It definitely was a value to me. I mean, I would do it again.
If I had a friend that had the same problem, I would tell him, go have that treatment, because your quality of life will be much better.
I do the computer a lot, and I don't sign my name anymore. I sign it Happy Feet, which they get a big kick out of, but that's how I feel. Got very happy feet.